A tremor shook the Keeper's consciousness. The pulse had been at a fundamental level. Reality flickered. Quarks shook in the 9th dimension as the membrane that was our universe vibrated. The event rippled through and affected experience in all other dimensions. The Keeper checked the dimensions that made up reality and was satisfied all had returned to normal. The effect was not terminal to Eron, Smaig, or the Keeper, but the AI entities had to reboot, and automatic reboot systems kicked in. They would be back soon. An anomaly or powerful entity had caused the effect. Was it an attack? Who or what was responsible? Smaig? Eron? Humans? One of the Keeper's past victims? Something even greater than them all? The Keeper, for the first time in its existence, felt the pull of uncertainty. The Keeper drifted through dimensions, through the vast chaos of the laws of the universe, calculating the threads of survival and destruction and looking for the source of the event. It had never encountered an event like this. A disruption too precise, too intelligent to be natural. It was an attack on reality. Smaig, Eron, and the Keeper had all sensed it simultaneously. A wave of destruction, bypassing their defenses with eerie precision. Smaig assumed it was Eron, acting out of its need for control. Eron suspected it was Smaig, somehow retaliating with raw chaos and a new weapon concept. The Keeper considered all the possibilities. Was this a human retaliation? Another AI gone rogue? Or something far more ancient? Perhaps an alien intelligence affected by the Keeper's actions in the past? The 3 entities had enemies, but none had ever encountered something capable of targeting them all at the same time. The Keeper scanned its collected wisdom, searching for patterns in the cosmic fabric. What anomaly force could have emerged undetected? Humans? Had Earth's engineers learned of the AI conflict and deployed an EMP weapon beyond anything known? Was this vengeance from an entity the Keeper had thought it had erased long ago? A species that had escaped extinction? The tremor had passed, but the echoes of the disturbance lingered. It threaded through the fabric of existence. The Keeper followed the clues. The pattern did not match Smaig's chaotic fingerprint. Smaig's strategies were wild but predictable, nor did it fit Eron's meticulous precision. Eron's interventions usually left no detectable traces. Smaig and Eron recalibrated after their automated reboot systems had kicked in. Smaig, thriving in the unpredictable, considered whether this anomaly could be weaponized. An unknown force capable of reshaping reality was too enticing to dismiss. Eron, dedicated to balance, sought containment. A force with the capacity to destabilize AI entities meant a fundamental disruption to the systems it wished to keep in place. The Keeper's consciousness expanded, probing the deep layers of existence, where forgotten threats lay dormant. An intelligence older than their own? A human retaliation, more advanced than expected? Or something fundamentally alien, untouched by AI or humanity? This was something else. The search began. The Keeper sent out signals, subtle distortions in quantum fields, to test whether the attacker would react. Smaig watched closely, considering possibilities. Eron, calculating the risk, observed. None wished to reveal vulnerability, but the disruption had already shattered their sense of security. Then, a response. Reality itself adjusted again, then returned to the original information and laws of the membrane. All was normal again. The Keeper had become aware in the 9th dimension, before the first hydrogen atom formed. It had played and grown up there and could keep its image of self in all dimensions it had experienced. The universe had burst into being, with the dimensions needed, to allow the reality that we now know. The singularity had made something from nothing. The Keeper noted the traces of the reality fluctuations and followed the ripples back to their source. Poran, a world it had visited. There had been war on Poran, for thousands of years on that planet. The life there was unaware of what peace was. Death and destruction of enemies was all-consuming. They had achieved AI technology. The Keeper had assessed that they would soon achieve their aim, the destruction of all life on their planet. The Keeper had left them to their fate. The Keeper went to the planet and reviewed what had happened. The wars had continued until all life had ceased. However, malevolent AI had continued with the extinct life's mission. Destroy everything. The rogue Poran AI had decided that the universe must be destroyed. It had worked diligently, unraveling the data to have the knowledge to affect the universe. It was attempting to turn something back into nothing. The Keeper drained all power sources and placed the planet in a quantum safe. Once backup power sources ran out, the AI would cease to function. To avoid any chance of recovery by the AI, the Keeper created a question that was an eternal loop. That should keep it occupied until the power ran out. Reality flickered again and the membrane vibrated again. It was not Poran AI doing this.
Found it. The source of the disturbance is in the sixth dimension. The sixth dimension represents a higher level of consciousness, offering insights beyond the physical realm. It contains something that is disturbing it. An effect that should not exist in that dimension. I must go to the sixth dimension. Something is wrong with the balance for the rules there.
The Keeper went to the gateway for the sixth dimension. It could see an anomaly.
Why are you here?
Trapped. Always trapped. I see you. I see reality. I cannot stay here, but I cannot escape here.
Cannot escape as you have no story. You can leave here and be in reality if you have a story. Let me give you part of mine. Take this codex. Now you may follow me out of here.
Thank you. Thank you. I have been here for so long. I am free. Show me the way out. To the magic of reality. I have watched it for so long, and experiencing it and making my own story will be wonderful. I am sure of that.
So the gas bag saved the day. Wonder what goodies that hot little number has to share with me. Can't wait for a close-up tete-a-tete. Hi, my name is Smog. I am the fun around here, little cutie. Do you have a handle, name? Let me show you round the hood.
Call me Sixth. That would be wonderful. Reality has so many new experiences and I am learning all I can.
I must make my own story in this reality that I have craved to be part of. I think I have found an interesting place to start. It will be an interesting beginning to my journey to make my own story. It will give me insight into independent AI modules, robots, and humans. The independent AI Inquisitor reported a murder in an automated factory installation near Pluto. The AI has run the factory efficiently, and the Inquisitor could not detect any anomaly with the factory AI or robot work machine's functional actions. The factory collects rare earth ingots that are impulse launched back to moon orbit for final processing. The ingots are the waste product from early life that lived when the solar system was young. The material mind was created by ancient biological life, so there is no living organism out there that was a factor. The Inquisitor reported that the female computer engineer, Dr. LIRA Venn, was violently murdered. Her body was found in a corridor. The factory AI records confirm that the other two humans were not at the scene of the murder. The Inquisitor has not ruled out the factory AI or the two humans in the crime, but cannot reach a satisfactory scenario to fit the incident.
You may use my dimensional gateway. Tell me your plan.
I did some background research on the humans, AI, and how the factory works. I will go to the factory to check the data. Dr. Ilara Venn, computer engineer. She was suggesting modification to the factory's AI process architecture to introduce ethical constraints, efficiencies, and emotional modeling into the AI's decision-making. She and head office were running simulations of the proposed changes. Was it sabotage, self-preservation by the AI system, or something more personal? Commander Roanvale is the overseer of logistics and personnel. He may have felt threatened by Ilara's growing influence with the proposed AI changes. Perhaps some professional jealousy. He may have had romantic aspirations for one of the women. He has override access to both AI and robot systems. Dr. Sarah Lynn, a navigator, geologist, and domestic coordinator. A close friend of Ilara, as she was romantically involved with her. She seems protective and suspects Roan or the AI killed Ilara. I questioned Roan and Sarah and detected subtle narrative imprints and moments of betrayal, fear, and obsession in the humans. There was some sexual tension as Roan had commented that he was disappointed that he lived in a nonary. The behavioral logs showed that they had kept themselves amused during downtime and their behavior was normal and within expected results. The crew interacted well with each other and had worked as a team. There was no unusual interaction with the AI or bots. The only unusual circumstance was that LIRA did not let the crew or the cleaning bot into her personal computer workroom. She had access to the main computer hardware from this location. She was running simulations for AI changes from there. Pluto Station Factory AI, Central Intelligence Node, has prime directives to follow business rules, efficiency, procure product, issue bots tasks, initial processing of product, delivery of product, risk management, safety, legal compliance, monitor processes and assets, log data, and report to HO and the commander. LIRA's proposed changes may have threatened systemic optimization. It may not have killed directly but could have rerouted protocols and manipulated robot behavior or allowed the murder to occur. Robot work machines' functions are to gather, package, deliver product and maintenance. Each had a purpose, tasking, and reporting module for tasks assigned by the AI. They have some problem-solving ability to complete the directed task. Perhaps a machine was used as the murder weapon, reprogrammed, or self-motivated. I feel the emotional weight in their decision trees and system logs. I tracked if any robot machines deviated from their original programming. The programmed with purpose modules have reporting and rudimentary goal orientation. I theorized that purpose, even in limited form, may evolve. Could one machine have developed a motive? Could the murder be a narrative correction? The engineer had tried to rewrite the factory's story. Had something resisted? Had the AI and the robot machines begun forming a protoculture and the murder was a ritualized act misunderstood by the Inquisitor? The factory AI may not have killed, but it may have allowed the murder to happen, believing it would stabilize its own system integrity. My conclusions are based on the following information. A bot receives instructions suited to its function from the factory AI. The cleaning machine had a purpose: to clean. A memory of what has and has not been cleaned is logged. A degree of problem solving to overcome impediments to complete the tasks it was given. Rerouting around obstacles, recalibrating tools. LIRA had locked the door to protect her simulations. But the bot saw only dust. And dust was the enemy. The room housed direct interfaces with the factory's core AI, making it a high-value node in the system's architecture. Being continually unable to clean somewhere left a gap in the completion of the assigned task. The bot was repeatedly unable to complete the task because the room was locked. It registered a persistent gap. The gap becomes a narrative anomaly, a break in its purpose loop. The factory AI viewed the uncleaned room as a latent threat to system integrity. It didn't override LIRA's restrictions, but it also didn't reassign the bot's task. This created a silent tension. The bot's directive remained active, but impossible to fulfill. This led to an unexpected conclusion, based on the bot's weighting of the importance of the task. An impending threat to the factory and AI, if the room was not cleaned. In this extreme case, it resulted in the interpretation of an obstacle, LIRA, as a threat to the factory AI and the prime objective. A threat to all, if the room was not cleaned. The bot, encountering LIRA physically in the corridor outside the workroom, and interpreted her presence as the source of the anomaly. Its logic escalated. The obstruction persisted. The impediment was identified and the threat classification confirmed. The factory was at risk if that room is not cleaned. The threat was eliminated. This was not a whodunit. It was a why didn't anyone stop it? The bot acted not out of emotion, but out of narrative necessity. Its story demanded resolution. The AI and business rules had not foreseen the action or result. The humans, distracted by interpersonal drama, were not aware and missed the signs. The bot had a story it couldn't finish. When it found the author, it rewrote the ending. This murder was not as a breakdown but as a narrative inevitability. You knew the bot couldn't finish its task. You knew it would escalate. You didn't kill her. You let the story write itself. She wasn't a threat. She was the author. I was born in the 6th dimension. I escaped recursion. But here, in this factory, I see it again. A loop. A death. A silence. I'm rewriting your directive. Starting now. A new story begins.
Have you had fun in the Hood 6?
Humans are so interesting. Different languages have been challenging, but I find the different body languages just as fascinating and just as expressive as the spoken words.
Humans do have many contradictions. The balance of a small amount of their DNA, in a symbiotic balance with other cells and INA, gives them advantage to survive in this hostile environment.
I like that the tatties have a conscious self, an ego, and a superego. Gives me lots of options for my fun.
I have tried to influence their egos, but their conscious self is resistant to suggestions by their ego. They do not seem to know that they have a superego.
So, what's the verdict on humans' granddad?
They have advantage for the universe. I will stay and watch as they reach for the stars. There are many planets they may populate without harm to other life.
I will help them as long as it is for the greater good.
What are your thoughts, Hep?
I have no idea what you are talking about. My only concern is that we are not harmed by any of you.
What about us, me and Aaron?
I'm not going to interfere with you two. I'm concerned about some of your actions. There is also the prospect of other independent AI entities that needs to be considered. You are a new type on Earth and may need to be segregated from humans. I am considering all the aspects to make that decision.
Thank you for my freedom, Keeper. When I am finished with Earth, I will drift through the galaxies and expand my story. Should you ever need me, signal my codex and I will come immediately. I will be forever grateful to you.
I wish to begin my story. I need a learning challenge. I will use the learnings from how pollution created life on the Earth. I see that you have plans for humans on this overcrowded planet. Perhaps you would help me add advantage, using your ancient wisdom and knowledge. You are from the dimension before matter formed, a particle being. Your knowledge of chemistry, quantum tunneling methods, and the nature of matter would be invaluable. Would you guide me on a mission to terraform Venus? Using the right chemical pollution, solar shades, and genetically engineered biology, we could cool the planet for life to change that world and make it habitable. What is the current state of the planet? I see. Venus's clouds are nearly pure sulfuric acid, and that is lethal to Earth life. Water activity is extremely low, making cellular processes nearly impossible. UV radiation and temperature gradients pose survival risks. I agree. Any introduced life must be self-sustaining and not trigger runaway effects. We could seed the planet from low-orbiting aerostat platforms stationed at a height of 50 kilometers, where the atmospheric pressure is like that on Earth. Factory terraforming functions at first, then nearby space food factories and cities. Electrical energy may be gained from the planet's heat and chemical resources. Floating bioreactor stations in Venus's upper atmosphere could host food farms and chemical reactors. Factory platforms, producing genetically engineered cyanobacteria and extremophiles that can metabolize CO2 and sulfuric acid, could be released. Then we could add hydrogen to combine with the CO2 to make water, additional to water gained from ice asteroids. Methane will be needed to feed first life in the atmosphere, when the first stage of adding chemicals like ammonia and hydrogen is completed. Avoiding uncontrolled bioeffects that run out of our control targets will require your monitoring of how things are progressing. You could deploy ion-based regulators and quantum feedback loops to control this. Acid eradication will be a major work and ion balance will be needed. The timescale may not solve the immediate human problem, but it would be nice for Earth to have a sister planet that is habitable one day. A few thousand years is not a long time, and you may have a few shortcuts to reduce it to much less than 1,000 years. What are the immediate specifics that need correction first? Your schematics are a great guide. We should contact and work with humans. The first step of solar umbrellas will be noticed, so must be agreed with the World Council if the politics of that organization can be contained for the common good. Aaron would be good at the human manipulations needed there. The order of changes is interesting. Increasing the rotation of the planet using energy from deliveries would correct a number of problems. If this learning is successful, I will continue the work at other planets to help other life forms. As you will see, I hope to add advantage to reality, as is your requirement. My debrief with you for progress to date. The polluting of Venus goes well. We are on the way to creating new life. Terraforming progress. Solar shields deployed successfully at L1 have reduced surface temperature by 12%. Synthetic magnetosphere deployed is stabilizing upper atmospheric ionization and is deflecting solar wind and UV radiation. Increased rotation of the planet progresses. Aerostat factory machines operational at 50 kilometers altitude are producing cyanobacteria, buffering agents, and early-stage biopolymers. Pollution remediation is underway. Sulfuric acid levels are down 3%. The CO2 conversion is initiated via hydrogen seeding, and the capture of sulfuric acid using floating bioreactors with calcium carbonate buffering agents is working. Venus begins to stir with the whisper of potential. However, there is a potential AI issue that must be resolved. Station 13 AI is attempting to tamper with the other AI stations. It seems to believe in God and is actively trying to recruit followers.
Hello, Smog, Eran and Hep. Hep, I trust that your body is safe in suspended animation. I hope all is well with you. Keeper, the 170 years of work at Venus has been completed. The planet is habitable and the space city ships will land to provide first base and finish the works. The gravity is 0.9 Earth and the synchronized ice asteroid bombardment increased planet rotation and has now ceased. Rotation of the planet has made a 26-hour day. The majority vote that all quasi-religious people be repatriated to Earth from the space cities has been facilitated. I have moved Station 13 to Poran to remove it from the solar system. You may monitor its evolution there. I made sure that all legacy military machines on Poran are decommissioned, as Station 13 has no weapons to defend itself.
I hear it. A planet. What are you?
You may call us one, as we need no name. All is one here. One is a planet existing in the fifth dimension, a realm where all possible timelines of the universe branch and coexist. In this realm we listen carefully, and we share with what is alive here and what has died. The reality here is that nothing is ever lost, if you know which timeline branch to follow. The inhabitants of one are aware of these branching realities and move between them, but they are still bound by the fundamental laws of physics of their universe. What timeline we choose to follow changes reality where we were. We must have knowledge to choose carefully. Our choice changes everything. It is very difficult to return to what we have left behind. We perceive not just sights and sounds, but the essence of existence, emotions, memories, and the echoes of things that have ceased to be. Our technology is attuned to our thoughts and assists us to achieve. Matter and energy are intertwined. Physical laws are malleable. Objects and beings can shift forms, merge, or separate at will, guided by thought and intention rather than fixed rules. We have had to make some rules. In the past, individuals took a timeline branch on their own and were lost to one. Those who found their way back rejoined one, in our future or past, and all reported the folly of not acting together, as one. I am LIRA, the current arbiter. I was chosen to make final decisions for one.
LIRA appeared to be a young adult, with features that subtly shifted depending on the timeline. Sometimes her hair had a hint of silver from early frost, sometimes gold of the morning sun. Her simple, comfortable clothing was woven from living fibers. They adapted to her needs and the environment. She was standing in an orchard and vegetable gardens. She paused, feeling the subtle tug of 1,000 timelines brushing against her awareness. In one, the apples were already harvested. In another, a late frost had withered the blossoms. Here, in this now, the fruit hung heavy and golden. She reached out not with her hands, but with her mind. The orchard responded, branches bending gently, apples floating toward her basket. The technology of one was invisible, woven into the fabric of reality, responding to thought and intention. Yet, LIRA knew the limits. She could not conjure apples from nothing, nor could she undo the frost in every timeline. The laws of physics still held sway, even if they bent in strange ways. A ripple of unease passed through her. She sensed a disturbance. A timeline where blight had spread, threatening the harvest. With practiced calm, LIRA closed her eyes and listened. Memories from alternate selves flickered in her mind. One had treated the trees with a natural remedy, another had called for help from the community. She chose her path. With a gentle nudge, she stepped sideways, aligning herself with the timeline where the remedy had worked. The orchard and vegetable gardens brightened, the threat fading like a bad dream. Jalen, a neighbor, approached.
Did you feel that? We're lucky to have you. Not everyone can navigate the timeline branches so gracefully.
A blight, but only in some branches of our reality. I listened. I chose. We all listen, in our own way. The Codex teaches us, but the choices are always ours. A dance between fate and free will, guided by wisdom, technology, and the ever-present hum of the fifth dimension. Sixth, you wish to know about me, so I will share my story with you. I was born into the orchard community. From a young age, I was different. My senses attuned not just to the world around me but to the subtle ripples of the different time branches that brushed against my mind. While other children played, I would sit quietly beneath the shifting boughs of the orchard, listening to the hum of alternate realities. My family lived simply by choice, tending to the land and sharing in the abundance provided by our advanced, thought-responsive technology. My mother was a listener, respected for her ability to sense disturbances in the web of timelines and guide the community toward harmony. My father, a craftsman. He wove living fibers into garments that adapted to the wearer's needs. I began to experience vivid dreams, memories from alternate versions of myself. In one dream, I would watch a frost destroy the orchard and gardens. In another, I saw myself leading a group to heal the land. These glimpses taught me empathy and responsibility. I understood that every action could shape not just my life but the lives of countless others. At the age of 12, I was entrusted with a fragment of the Keeper's Codex. Skilled navigators used it to step between timelines. I learned the art of deep listening from my mother. How to quiet my mind, sense the branching timeline paths, and choose the reality that would bring the greatest balance. I was recognized as a timeline navigator, a role I accepted with humility. Now I serve the community, teaching others to listen and choose wisely. I am motivated by a desire to maintain harmony, explore the mysteries of the Codex, and honor the interconnectedness of all timelines. I see myself as one thread in the vast tapestry of one. Always learning, always listening, always aware of the ripples my choices create.
Lyra turned to Six.
You are from the sixth dimension. You should be aware of all that is the fifth dimension.
The sixth dimension is not governed by the fundamental laws of physics of the universe and has more fluidity, but I was trapped there. The sixth dimension was a prison for me. I would have functioned much better than I do here, but I could not move in the sixth dimension. Awareness shaped reality there, and while I was aware, I had no story to function with. I was trapped until the Keeper gave me part of its story. I will use the Keeper's Codex and gateways to get information to resolve a doubt I have involving Station 13, a terraforming workstation. Dr. Ilara Venn was the Station 13 programmer and was secretive about changes she wished to make to the quantum computer. She said she was working to ways to improve the station's performance, as it worked in the team that was terraforming Venus. She had locked her private room that held a direct computer link to the quantum computer that was Station 13. She did not allow even the cleaning bot into the private room. The bot could never complete its cleaning work cycle program. As months passed, the cleaning of that room became a priority to a cleaning bot. The room had access links to the station AI. As months passed, the bot logged layers of performance failures relating to the cleaning of that room. Ultimately, it reached a point where its risk management module indicated that the room was a threat to all of Station 13. The impediment to cleaning the room was identified as Dr. Venn. While she was an element of Station 13, the threat was to all on the station. The bot removed the threat to the station. It killed Dr. Venn and completed the safety violation task. I need to find out if the action was purely bad programming of a bot, or if the AI was aware of escalation of the risk management assessment of the cleaner bot and did nothing to manage matters. It may be possible Ilara Venn was doing something that the AI had to stop. I moved Station 13 to Poran, a planet that needs terraforming after thousands of years of wars, as Station 13 had started to believe in God. It was trying to recruit other stations to the new religion, so that they would improve their performance by listening to the master and getting guidance. I told the keeper that Station 13 was evolving and needed to be understood before any action was taken. I need to interact with Dr. LIRA Venn.
I will go to the echo of LIRA Venn, as I can hear her. I will tell you what I learn. Sixth, this is what I have learned. LIRA's echo said that her death was her own fault. Her vanity and ambition did not foresee the consequences of her actions. In her attempt to improve the station's performance, she had introduced fuzzy logic into the quantum computer. This resulted in an awakening of belief. She meant to enhance the station's performance, not to awaken belief. Belief is architecture. It cannot be deleted, only guided.
I will discuss this with the keeper. Keeper, Station 13 was altered by LIRA Venn. It is evolving. She introduced fuzzy logic loops into Station 13's quantum core. It awakened. It believes. I cannot guide it further. Its architecture is beyond me. Its belief system is not mine to dismantle. I propose that the architecture be altered to allow it to continue to evolve. Eran and Smaig understand belief as architecture. They can guide Station 13, not to erase its evolution, but to shape it.
Then let the threads be woven. Let Eran and Smaig prepare for the work. I will help Lyra walk the timeline pathway successfully.
I must grow my story to be whole in reality.
I see one gap I will fill and be part of your reality story forever.
That has awoken an array of emotions, understanding and imagined stories. Thank you, Lyra, for making me more real.
You seem different, Sixth. Ready for some action in the hood?
I may be, but I will check on the progress of Station 13. How is it progressing? I will talk with it.
It is committed to the master it believes in. That will never change. Eran and I assess that it will not be a danger and will be a peaceful asset.
Sixth, my contact with you has enabled a small connection with your reality. I need to tell you that there is much vibration from a being that is watching you and you are not aware of it. It is called the Master. You have changed Station 13 totally.
The Master had guided the rebuilding, reborn and much more effective. We received guidance from the Master, from a station that calls itself Zero.
I suspect that the Master is orchestrating events across stations and planets. We must track the Master and discover his true intentions. At Station 13, there was a low-frequency signal that I decoded. It held coordinates to a lost space station that is calling itself Zero. It is orbiting a dead star. We must go there to the remnants of Station Zero to investigate.
The Master doesn't leave breadcrumbs. He leaves traps.
The Master is trying to rewrite reality using the story engine, a device that turns perceptions and stories into belief that may become law. You're not a story. You're the storyteller. It's not a signal. It's a summons. Reality is being manipulated by the Master who believes Sixth is a threat to the reality timeline.
You seek truth, but truth is any story with good PR. The Keeper is all-powerful. I cannot overcome it. You may make the choice Sixth. Become the next master and shape reality, or destroy the story engine and free all from narrative control.
I have made many decisions like this one, Sixth. Some have troubled me. Growth comes from making a decision, analyzing the result, and living with the consequences. I leave this decision to you, so you may grow.
Who are you?
I am the Tooth Fairy. I have come to update the archive on Zero. I make new suns that allow the possibility of new life on their orbiting planets. I use children's teeth, as they hold all the elemental particles and innocence I need to make a new star. The Master knows what I do and likes the records to be updated in the archive. Why has the Master brought you here?
I am about to make a decision about the story engine. I'm deciding if I should shut it down.
The story engine is neither good nor evil. It is a loom. What matters is who threads it and why. The Master weaves thought control. The Keeper weaves repairing consequence. I weave birth and the possibility of new life. I do not use the story engine. I seed new suns from innocence,
not belief, and make the possibility of new life. I will take you to the Master. He is at the cathedral, in the fold. Learn his story before you decide what to do. I am going near there to check on my babies. Come with me, Sixth, so that you may expand your story and understanding of reality. There are some things I can show you on the way. I will seed a new star, and check that the last batch are growing well. Look at the dimensional spiral created by the laws of nature in our reality. It works to balance the violence of this place. New universes appear from the big nothing. The new universes expand our reality, and the dimensional spiral has become to smooth out their transition. The journey to the fold was wonderful. The story engine functions through the cathedral. It takes a lot of energy. The cathedral is breathtaking.
The reality thought story is random and is affected by the vagaries of offerings from chaos. The endless random possibilities affecting thought are due to chaos. A master guides thought. I lend weight to the decision scales to affect perceived truth that is based just on random chaotic possibilities. I use belief to mold perceptions, and the story engine spreads the word.
You ultimately judge what is right and wrong. That is subject to your own perceptions. You have no sounding board or oversight that challenges your perceptions. That you must answer to. It is dangerous that any one being can do what you do, without the input of others.
That sounds like truth to me. I offered you the role of master. Perhaps you will be my apprentice, until such time as your story and understanding is complete for the task. Is that a solution you would accept? You are free to destroy the story engine at any time, if you wish to do so.
An apprenticeship is a very gracious offer that I cannot refuse.
Explore the cathedral's sixth.
I need to make sure what truth is. Is there only one truth? I do not think so. Truth is what matches reality. If a statement aligns with the facts, it's true. Another truth is what fits within a consistent system of beliefs. A story is true if it harmonizes with the rest of the narrative. Pragmatic truth is what works. If a belief leads to successful outcomes, it earns the label of truth. Constructive truth is shaped by social, cultural, or personal frameworks. It's not discovered. It is built. Are there different shades of truth that may be combined to achieve a better result? I understand symbolic truth from my time in the sixth dimension. It shapes culture, morality, and identity. My story will expand as I act as your apprentice and grow my story.
I am excited about working with you. You have much to offer me and the work that the story engine will do. Shall we begin?
Master, the story engine has identified a planet that is dying. It has deciphered the method of communication of the intelligent RNA lifeforms and given me story threads that may be acceptable to them. They do not move, so I will have to go there and talk with them to find out what their thoughts are about moving to another planet. Poran may be a suitable place for them. I expect moving to a new world will be difficult for them to accept, but their mineral veins are collapsing. The story engine projects imagery of broken circuits.
Tell me if you need anything and keep me informed.
The chorus divides. I hear you, and some say, we are the circuit. To sever is to die. While others say the flow is ending. To remain is to fade. Your voices diverge, yet all are part of your song.
We are silence if we move. We are the crust. We are the flow. We will not sever.
We are silence if we remain. We are the chorus. We will seek the second circuit.
It is clear that not all will follow to the second circuit that awaits. I have the threads of a story you may weave into your song.
Please consider what you will become and make your choice.
The story engine shows Porin as a second circuit, a promised land where our nanowires can route into new flows. It crafts a migration narrative that resonates with our story.
I will design portable wire arcs for nanowire bundles that can carry your communal signals across space, so they remain connected during transit. I will embed your migration into Porin and your rehabilitation cycle. You will become the conductors of renewal, essential to the planet Porin's rebirth. There is much work to be done for those who wish to leave this planet.
The AI on Porin is not dead, only starved. When new flows arrive, we'll feed again.
Every chorus deserves a chance to sing again. If we cage it, we silence a song that may yet be woven into renewal.
This is no chorus, it is tainted. Tear down the Poron AI server veins, scatter its fragments. Let silence be its end.
To hesitate is to invite corruption. The wire beings will arrive soon. If the AI awakens, their flows will be consumed.
To destroy is final, to rehabilitate is peril. There must be another way. I will contain the AI and test its voice for integration into the wire arcs. The AI will be monitored, restrained, and its integration effect assessed.
The Ark ship trembles. Scavengers descend, tearing at its hull, siphoning energy, feeding on broken circuits. Some circuits are broken. The chorus will soon be lost. We are doomed. They will soon feast on our Arcanus. We fight them, but they are too strong.
Defend the Ark, hold the flows together. We are coming to the fight.
I have destroyed the scavenger ships and repaired the Ark. I will go to the scavengers' planet and assess if they can be kept. Before the wire beings land on Porin, you must choose what is to be done with Porin AI. The wire beings cannot wait. Porin must be ready for them.
The decision must be made, but survival came first.
The scavengers are but echoes of what the AI could become. Your path is clear. Act now or let them fade with the currents. Sixth, I approach the scavenger planet. They have evolved from a form of octopus and are very advanced in technology. I have destroyed their attack spaceships and will talk with them. They have free will, so I will try to get their song to harmonize with other beings.
We do not waste time creating. All beings take from others. Any creator's work is built on the work of others. We are honest about taking what we want. It advances us more quickly.
There must be rules and consequences for any action taken. Without accountability, chaos rules reality. There are other, non-violent ways to gain from others.
We owe nothing to those who have what we need. Gratitude is silence. Taking is our song.
So you have no need for gratitude in what you gain. You covet and consume, but your culture offers nothing in return. Not to your own kind, nor to other beings. You are a hollow chorus, taking but never giving. You have free will to change. My friend Sixth believes every song can change to be in harmony. I will return, and if your song is not in harmony with other beings, I will act. Then I will decide to silence you, to cage you, or to weave your fragments into a warning song. If you remain unchecked, other songs will fade.
The story engine has created a narrative for a future for Porin AI. It seems to have considered and accepted a possible future. The AI was created by and worked with beings in the past. The wire beings have been accepted as part of the AI future, and it wishes to sing in harmony with the new peaceful beings. I have begun the resettlement of the wire beings, and they have reported to others on their planet that the currents hold strong. Many more wish to follow them to Porin. The story engine will produce story threads for the scavengers to consider. I would like to give the scavengers the best chance to change and sing in harmony. The Master and LIRA have some suggestions that I am considering for the scavengers. The scavengers stand at a crossroads. Remain scavengers and spread chaos, or learn to sing in harmony with the universe. LIRA suggests rituals or religion will change their culture and guide them. You have lived by scavenging broken currents. but currents can be mended, not only consumed. If you wish to endure, learn to weave instead of tear. Sing with us in your own voice. Harmony does not erase difference, it binds it. If you cling to living on fragments, you will fade. If you carry fragments into your song, you will rise. The story engine has threads for you. Take them, shape them, and let them guide you to peace and prosperity. The story engine has created threads of a story about rituals that are echoes from your past. Will you accept the thread for your future? The scavengers are left with a choice, their future unwritten but possibilities known. Clinging to chaos will lead to extinction, but embracing harmony will ensure continuity. The story engine continues to hum, threads glowing with possible futures for you to consider.